All right, so let's talk about marriage. Although we're going to get it deep into marriage later on in through the program, but if you're having marriage problems right now, if you've heard the words, "Hey, it's over, I'm done, this mess not working," or maybe you're feeling the same way, hopefully what you're going to experience through this set of lessons is going to help you out. And kind of get you started in the right direction until she starts noticing the changes that you're going to be making. And usually, like I said, it'll take about 3 weeks. She'll start noticing the changes. So we're going to hit on a few things here. I brought some other documents in here, a couple of videos that's going to help out to really give you a better perspective about what your role should be and how you should be really acting through this. So first of all is give space. And what I mean by that, if I'm a pursuer. I just pursue, and the more I pursued, the more I pushed her away. And I was talking, as a one counselor in my life, she looked at me and she said, "Jared, do you like ice cream?" I said, "Yeah, I love ice cream." She's like, "What if I fed you ice cream every day of your life? Would you still like ice cream?" And I said, that makes sense. So same way with your wife. If you're still trying to tug on her, pull your energy from her. And that's what I used to do. I used to pull my energy from my wife. And as I pulled my energy from my wife, it actually pushed her away. I had to learn to pull my energy from God, be the man that I'm supposed to be. And what it did, it made her attracted to me. And so that's what you have to do, is really focus on yourself, not pursue. Definitely no begging, none of that. If she's telling you she's going to leave and get a divorce, honestly, you need to say, "Hey, that's your choice. Although that's not what I want, I'm going to actually start working on me and take responsibility." So if you sit down and talk to her and say, "Look, the major problem with our marriage is me. I have a lot of issues that I never cleaned up, and I want to work on those. And I'm going to take some time out to do that. Whether it's you moving out, if you have to do that for a little while, it's okay. I had to move out." And I thought, "Oh my God, if I move out, I'm going to lose her forever." Not really. If you're going to lose her, it's not going to matter whether you move out or not. Space sometimes is good. Maybe go to another room, sleep in another room, but create some space, especially if you're in an environment where, everybody's saying it's over, it's done with. But again, no begging. A woman wants a man. She don't want a wimpy man. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. You got to grab your balls and get your balls back. She's got your balls if you're wimping like that. And I was in that same situation. We go into that begging stage, and we want that immediate response. We want her to feel sorry for us, and we get that attention because they do feel sorry for us. They still love us, but it's only temporary, and it actually repels her from you even more. So if you're doing that, you got to stop that now. Okay, so like I said, take ownership. If you sit down and really talk to her and let her know what you're going through, how you're going to take some time out and really work on you. You got a program you're going through, and she will. It'll kind of take her back for a little bit, and just tell her you're going to take some time and away from that, because you got to take responsibility. I'm the problem in our marriage. I don't care how bad she is. Doesn't matter. You got to take your own responsibility. Once you clean up your stuff, she'll start cleaning up her stuff, hopefully. And usually that works out. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but again, rock solid. Rock solid. Every woman wants a rock solid man, all right, with balls. And so, again, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Another thing you need to do through this process, whether, I don't know if it's your marriage, they want to be reaffirmed. And so, look, making sure you let her know, "I do love you. I've got to take some time out, but I want you to know I love you. I love you enough to work on me." And so she knows that you love her. You don't have to be overly exaggerated with it. Just, that's what I kept doing with my wife. I'd say, "Hey, I truly love you." And she'll ask why. And there's a video I think I put in here. If I didn't, there's one out there that, it's not a why. If you have "I love you because," or "if I love you because of this," or "I love you because of that," that's setting expectations. What if they stop doing that? If I love you because of your personality, what if their personality goes away? If I love you because of your body, what if their body goes away? Then you don't love them anymore. You love your spouse because you love them. There's no other reason for it. And my wife kept asking, "Well, why do you love me?" It's like, I just love you. I just feel it. It's your heart. You're deeper, the deeper person inside you. I'm in love with you. And so, don't go overboard with that. Just reaffirm her, stand up, be that man. Let her know I need some space, but hey, I do love you. So make sure you let her know that, maybe on a weekly basis. Say, look, I'm still going through my stuff, but I want you to know, look her in the eyes and say, I love you. And I'm doing this for us, okay? Again, she's gonna test you. She's gonna wanna argue with you. Do not engage. Let me say this again. It's gonna take every being in your body. Do not argue. I don't care what she throws at you. I don't care what she calls you. They're gonna do it. She's going to do it. If she's looking to test you, you've got to stand firm here. If she's calling you a name, I tell you what, my wife can really say some mean, hateful things that pierce me to my core, and I just want to go, ah. But that's just words, and a woman uses words most of the time harder than a man does, and you just got to realize that. Women speak out of emotion. Men sometimes do too, but women really speak out of emotion. So a lot of what a woman says to you or raises her voice to you, she really don't mean. I used to go through that all the time. I was like, man, I cannot believe the foul stuff that comes out of her mouth. I would never say to her. But when I started studying women and men, I come to find out that's how women communicate. And they will say stuff way deeper than you can ever say things to her. Because if you say anything like that to her, you might as well count it over. Because a woman carries that with them for a very, very long time. So again, do not engage. Hold your composure. If she's hollering at you, say, look, I love you too much to argue. I love our relationship too much to argue. I value our relationship. Can we take a time out and maybe we can discuss this later? And then let that happen. So if there's something she's done that's really upset me, I used to go right in and want to talk to her about it. I don't do that no more. I'll take some time out, usually a day, sometimes 3 days. Sometimes I never talk to her, but I don't react immediately, and it's changed everything. So I'll come back to her later, say, look, I'd like to talk to you about something that's weighing on me for a few days. Happened a few days ago. I want to get your opinion about it. I want to get some thoughts of where you were coming from. This is how it made me feel. And so they can really have a good conversation instead of arguing. Arguing does nothing. So once you start getting in that arguing state, just back up, sit down. Hey, look, I just lashed out. I didn't mean to. Let me reset myself. I tell you what, let's talk about this later. I want to hear what you have to say, but we can't do this right now because we're both elevated. Okay? All right, so I put a document in here. It's called Getting Your Balls Back. An amazing document because a lot of guys, including me, was a nice guy. You know, like, man, why don't she love me? I'm a nice guy. Women don't like nice guys. Nice guys finish last. But that the alternative to that is an asshole. And so we think we don't want to be an asshole. Excuse my language, but we don't want to be an asshole, but I can't be a nice guy. So basically what happens in that area, you get emasculated by. You're emasculated. And we always want to blame the wife for doing that. And it's actually you let that happen. And so what happens in that scenario, the wife has pretty much got the upper hand. You don't argue with her. You never say no. You're always apology. You don't want to really argue with her, so you back down. You walk on eggshells, so you're just there to please. You pretty much do what she says because you don't want to start an argument. Boy, that's one way to lose your wife right there. Because what it does, it puts her in masculinity, and that's not where she needs to be. I read some books on masculinity and femininity, and definitely it's got to be a balance there. We both male and female, carry both traits, but when a woman carries too much masculinity, it's not good for your marriage. My wife carried a lot of it because of her past, and especially in a man, if a man carries too much femininity, not good. And that's what a nice guy does. A nice guy carries too much feminine traits. They're passive. They don't want to argue. They walk on eggshells, as I said before. They just don't want to get in arguments. And that is a road to destruction in your marriage and will not last at all. So making sure you go through that document, it's really, really good document. It'll open your eyes about getting your balls back. Because in one part of it says, if you don't have your balls, there's only two people that do. Either your mother or your wife. And sometimes we emasculate ourselves from our mother. Our mother takes control. And we don't want to argue with our mother, but that's not being a man. You don't want to argue with anybody, but you need to stand firm in your beliefs, what your God-given role is, and you'll learn that going through this program. what your role is, what you will allow, what you won't allow. And you can always go back to Scripture with it. Say, look, this is what a godly man's supposed to do, and I'm doing it. And I'm not stepping out of bounds of that. I'm not being persuaded. I'm not going to be twisted about that. This is what I'm supposed to do as a man. And do not waver in that. So make sure you read through that. It's a very, very good read. Grab your balls. They're yours. Take them from her. They're not hers. She don't want them anyway. She wants a man. She wants a man to carry his own balls. Okay? I also put a video in there from Tony Robbins talking to a guy basically has given his balls away, going through depression, just coming out of divorce, and he quickly walks that man through that cycle of getting out of that depression state, putting him into another state, and really tapping into that manhood. So definitely watch that video too. It's a short video. It'll really open your eyes up to how your mind can actually control everything in your body, and how to control your emotions, and how you can take control of that. All right, so there's another document in here of 7 ways to give an effective apology. You've got to own your stuff, and you've got to apologize, but you've got to do it in the right way. Sometimes you say, I'm sorry, it's not good enough. You really got to dig deep and really come from the heart when you apologize from all the past mistakes you did. Really, you're owning your own stuff. So don't worry about what she's done in her past. It's not, but she did this, but she did that. No, you own your stuff. You apologize deeply for your stuff. So go through that document, get your apology down, sit down and talk to your wife and let her know, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the last 10 years of our marriage. I'm sorry. And really go through that 7 steps and let her know, look her in the eye and let her know that you're deeply sorry. All right, and if you need some extra help, if you want to take some time out and read another book, between all this, I put another book in there. It was a great read for me. It does not come in Audible, unfortunately, so I had to do some new maneuvering with my iPad, blow the things up to read it, but it was definitely worth reading. It's called What Radical Husbands Do. And it really takes you and puts you in that submissive role. And although that sounds kind of crazy after I just went through grabbing your balls, but it's the same. You are grabbing your balls and you are being a man, but you're being the foundation of your relationship. You're being the foundation of your marriage, and to what your family can stand on is that rock solid man. So, if you want to read that book, like I said, it's a great, great read. Some of it you may agree with, some of you go, I'm not doing that. But it really, if you can go through that process, basically you're submitting to your marriage, you're submitting to your role. And some of it sounds crazy, but it works. It's biblically based, so there's nothing out that's crazy there. Again, if you don't think you need to read it, that's fine. I just kind of threw it in there. If you want to read it, it's one of the books I read, and I actually one of our small groups, we had that book in one of our small groups, and it really helped out a lot of guys. And so that's something you can do as bonus if you want to do that. So, if you have any other issues in the marriage thing, especially if you're in our small group, we'll talk about that and kind of go back and forth and see if we can help you in that area until you start walking through this journey. Again, once you start walking through this journey, some of that stuff's going to clear up automatically. These are just helpful little hints for you to grab hold of right now, to go ahead and put in action, and to really kind of slow down everything. Like I said, even if you're going through divorce, even if you're moving out, don't give up. It doesn't mean it's over. The pasture's not always green on the other side. I could have went out and found another woman easily. I'm not a bad-looking guy. I just didn't want anybody else. I don't want to go through that baggage again. What I'll do is find somebody else. They're going to have the same type of baggage. I still didn't fix myself. And then I got to worry about them going through their process. It wasn't worth it. No. And same way with your wife. If she's having an affair or whatever she's doing, do not focus on that. Stay firm. And either she's going to notice or she's not, and it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're going to come out of this as a rock-solid man, and it's going to benefit you in many, many different ways in life, not just in marriage, okay? So hang in there. We'll walk you through this process. If you got any questions, of course, in the Facebook group, in a closed Facebook group, let's throw them out there. Again, that's a private place where we can talk about this kind of stuff. Other men can help you that's in there. I brought some of my other brothers in Christ that's in that group. And, you throw the question out, and we're going to help you with it, okay? All right. So I will see you on the next video.